get ready for the Cable One kickoff. Nathan Farley has started this football game. A high spiraling kick that's going to be taken by Mitchell Reese at the 8-yard line. Up the middle, look out! He's got a seam! Farley, the lone man that can get him, and he does, at the 48-yard line. Great wall set up by the Raiders. They blew a hole right through the jacket coverage, and Farley saved a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a nice open field tackle. Farley is the safety man, and it had to be just that on that play.
Up front for the Raiders, Matt Rodriguez, Aaron Plowman, Josh Ivey, Regis Cannon, and Johnny Tipton. Blake Zemanski, the quarterback, 6'4", 215, and a junior. The wideouts, Chance Huber, David Nelson, Jared Mercandante, and James Davis. Mitchell Reese in the backfield. We'll give you the Yellow Jackets starting defense in just a moment. Zemanski, long snap count on 1st and 10 from the 48. Hands it off to Reese, coming near side, nowhere to go in jail, but breaks tackles and gets his way across the 50 into Yellow Jacket territory at the 46. Reese was in jail a yard deep, but he spun out of one grasp, out of another, and he turned it into a 4.5-yard gain.
Yeah, they're going to mark him at about the 47. One thing we need to mention, well, they're going pretty quick here, Lynn.
Zemanski rolling, wanting to throw, hits his man Reese out of the slot position, across the middle, first down and more, and the Raiders all the way down to the Dennison 31 in just 2 plays. Your starting lineup defensively for Dennison tonight: Josh Vaughn, Jesse Dixon, Vincent Rhodes, and Robert Hoekstra in for the injured Malcolm Allen. The backers tonight: Anthony Hines, Kyle Richards, Mario Polk, and Nathan Farley. Marcus Davis and Brad Ade back deep, and Corey Robertson, the safety valve for the Yellow Jacket D.
Right now, only 3 down linemen for the Yellow Jackets.
Dennison, a high snap by Zemanski. Pressure comes. He's going to throw. Almost intercepted as he overthrew his intended wideout. It was just beyond the reach of Matt Fink. And on the reception, the intended receiver, I believe, was Chance Huber. No chance for the grab.
Jared Mercandante, who was the guy right there, number 7. He just overthrew him a little bit, but you're right. Fink was right there, just out of reach of picking that ball off.
Give credit to that 3-man down, the 3-man front for Dennison getting the pressure on. It'll be 2nd down and 10, so the first no-gainer tonight for the Raiders, who started this game with a bang. This is going to be a pitch to Reese, fumble on the play, and Zemanski recovers his own fumble.
I believe they're going to call it a forward pass incomplete. That works actually in the Rider Raiders' favor, because it would have been a loss for about 3 or 4 yards had it been ruled a fumble, but they're going to rule it an incomplete pass and call it 3rd down at the 31-yard line.
Yellow Jacket opponents so far in 2003, 8 out of 20 in the 3rd down conversion department, only 400% on the conversion rate. 3rd and 10 here. The first time tonight the Raiders have been stretched the distance. Zemanski flanked by Reese. Calls for the football in the deep shotgun formation. 4 wideouts, long snap count. Zemanski back to pass, looks right, comes, throws, complete, and it's going to be short of the first down yardage necessary, but it will be close to the 24-yard line. On the reception for the Raiders, Chance Huber. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man, Jason Smith. He had a bird's eye view, looks like a couple of yards shy.
Yes, definitely a couple of yards shy. Matt Fink doing a great job driving the receiver out of bounds in a puddle of water.
Big decision here, 4th down, and they're going to be around inside their own 25 at the 24-yard line. They do have the great kicking game, and we'll see if they come out with that. And I don't believe they will.
They're going to line up in the I formation, and it's going to be Reese at the fullback spot. It's going to be a toss to the tailback. He's trying to get outside. He's got the corner. It's going to be tight. Going to be very close, right at the marker. Farley had a hold of him as he stretched for the marker. And let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home man. You get your first chance to make the call. I think he got it. What do you think?
I think he definitely got that one, although Farley had him collared behind the line. He couldn't get enough weight to pull the kid back.
Well, they are moving the chain, so call it 1st down at the 21-yard line.
James Davis, normally a wideout, lined up in the I-back spot and gave the Raiders a new set of downs. 10:51 to go in the first quarter here on Katy Country. Lynn, Burkhead, Monte Walker, and the crew. 1st and 10, Ryder from the Dennison 20-yard line. Zemanski in the shotgun, 4 wideouts. He'll hand it to Reese. Reese nowhere to go, breaks a tackle though, then another, and he's going to rumble his way inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. He just kind of stutter-stepped in there. He actually had a Yellow Jacket that had a handful of jersey behind the line of scrimmage. He waited for the momentum of that jacket. Linebacker, I believe it was Kyle Richards, to go by him, and then he squirted up the field. This is Zemanski under center. Now he wants to toss it in the end zone. Had a man open. It's overthrown. Incomplete. James Davis, all 6 foot or 5'8", 160, streaking wide open. A about 2 steps in front of the Yellow Jackets, Corey Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson was there, and also Kyle Richards running out of his linebacker position, trying to find that receiver running through the middle. The receiver actually ran right past him. Davis just had a nice shot at the end zone. If the ball could have been there, it would have been 6 points.
Davis with 13 catches, 145 yards coming into the contest tonight. 3rd down, a long 5, nearly 6 from the 16.5-yard line. Dennison showing the blitz look. Zemansky in the shotgun. Reese on his left side. This is going to be Zemansky. Wants to throw over the middle. Does so. It's incomplete. His intended receiver had a step on the defender, but he was unable to haul it in. That's David Nelson, 6'6" and 190 pounds.
And now the kicking team will come in with a 4th down at their own 16-yard line. We'll see a chip shot field goal here. As we mentioned, the Rider Raiders have always had a good kicking game and should this year as well.
Calderon, the kicker, he is 1 out of 1 attempts in the field goal department, a 41-yarder. A flag down before the play can get underway. Mercandante to hold the deep snap of Tipton. And we'll check the hanky laying on the field on 4th down and almost 6 to go.
I would say it came from the sideline, and I would think it would be too many men on the field. Let's check down with Jason Smith, our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline guy.
Yeah, it was the back judge behind the defensive set who threw that flag, and he throws that when there is too many men on the field, illegal substitution, the actual call there. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, which will make it really close for the 1st down.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough for the 1st down, I don't believe, but
it may be enough to change their mind.
Yeah, Calderon picks the tee up, and he picks himself up rather, and he's going to head off the field. So a mistake has cost the Yellow Jackets potentially, as Calderon was lining up for a field goal. Too many men on the field, or illegal substitution rather, has given the Raiders 4th down, less than 1. Zemansky, he's going to try to keep it himself. It's going to be close. He may not have gotten it. Corey Robertson urging the case on with the officials. Somebody got great penetration and grabbed Zemansky from behind. Let's check down with Jason Smith. What do you think, Jason?
Well, guys, that was a busted play from the very beginning. Zemansky wanted to hand that ball off, and his running back was nowhere near. Jesse Dixon breaking through, grabbing a hold of him and holding him short of the 1st down sticks.
Well, they are going to bring out the chains and measure this from the sidelines. Remember, it's 4th down. This would be a turnover of downs if they don't get it.
I think I can tell them, we're at a bad angle, but it doesn't look like to me that he got it. They did move the ball to the far hash mark, and he did not get it. It's going to be short. Dennison is going to hold on downs, and the Dennison D bends after a huge kickoff return on the opening kick and a couple of big plays. They let the Rider Raiders drive it to the 13, but the Raiders come up empty.
Well, they drove it all the way down to the 9, actually. That was pretty tough. And take your right hand, place it across your forehead, and wipe the sweat away, because the Yellow Jackets held on 4th down and now get the ball.
Hey, actually, Dennison's opponents have not converted yet on 4th down all season long. This is going to be the Yellow Jackets in an offset eye. They'll shift everyone, and this is going to be Robertson. Gets the toss, spun out of a would-be tackler's grip in the backfield. Corey spun off of it quickly as the linebacker shot the gap, but he gets very little, maybe no gain on the play on 1st down. Here's the starting O for the Yellow Jackets up front. Josh Prado, Vinny Rhodes, Gary Wetz, Robert Hoekstra, and Matt Jones. Josh Vaughn, the tight end, Chad Robertson, Michael Hudgens, the wideouts tonight. Will Crawley is the quarterback. Scooter Means, the fullback. Corey Robertson, the senior tailback, who's had an outstanding season. Just added another yard to that outstanding season. Gets the toss, heads right, pressure to the backfield, cuts it up, look out! Corey Robertson has a 1st down, and he was a shoestring away from taking it to the house. Corey Robertson had 2 guys shooting the gap, nearly got him in the backfield. He sidestepped one and turned it on.
I don't know how he did that. He was kind of jammed up in the backfield. Don't know how he got out of that to begin with. Then he made a couple of nice moves and all the way up and picked up the 1st down, all the way up to about the 19-yard, the 24-yard line.
Got a Rider Raider that may be suffering from cramps. Justin Brom, the starting outside linebacker on the left side, helped off the field. Does not look like he'll be back tonight. Corey Robertson, however, will be. Got the toss coming near side, cut it back to the interior of the offensive line and picked up about 3 tough yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. 9 minutes, 6 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. Lynn Burkhead, Monte Walker, Jason Smith, and Kevin Farr with you tonight on Katy Country 93.1 FM your home of Yellow Jacket football. Thanks for spending your Friday night with us.
Mario Polk checks out of the ball game. Chad Roberts will check in. Give Robertson about 4 yards on that carry up to the 26-yard line.
He's the only one that's touched the football so far. And Scooter Means, the fullback, this is Robertson, lowers the shoulders. The hole closed very quickly, and he picked up maybe a foot.
May have even lost a yard. I think they're marking, well, right in between the 25 and 26.
Chad Roberts checks off the field, and we'll see who checks on. That's going to be, I believe that's going to be Mr. Price. It is Chad Price will bring the play in along with the Yellow Jackets' Jeremy Kimbrell. And Dennison facing 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7. The Jackets on the year, 500 in 3rd down conversions. 10 out of 20, their first opportunity tonight. Offset eye. This is Crawley coming near side, wanting to throw. He's going to throw it on the run. Had a man. That's Price. Did he catch it? It was on the sideline. I think he did.
Well, I'm not sure. I still haven't seen an official rule. I think he said incomplete because he was juggling it as he was going out of bounds. Price made a nice grab, I thought, but I think he was just juggling it a little bit.
And that is going to be the indication. Chad Price right in front of the pile of black jerseys on the sideline, and the official said he did not have control when he went out of bounds, and so Josh Vaughn will be called on to punt the football away as Nieto retreats back there with Reese back there for the Rider Raiders. Vaughn on the year punting the football, 7 punts, 36.7 average, and a 48-yard long. Mitchell Reese back with Nieto, and this is going to be a good kick, a spiraling kick. Mitchell Reese is going to take it. Now he's going to hand it off Nieto. Reverse. He's got room to run. 45 to the 50. Down the sideline. He may be gone. Vaughn, the only man that can catch him, and he knocks him out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Josh Vaughn and Nathan Farley have kept this a 0-0 game. Check that. They said he stepped out back at the 31-yard line. Might even be a flag laying at the 45, and I'm not sure if it is or not.
I don't believe that is. I believe that's a football thrown down from the other side.
That is what it is. But Josh Vaughn nearly saving the day, and it's the two kickers that have had to save what normally is a Yellow Jacket stronghold. That's the special teams play. So far, the Raiders taking it to the Jackets. 1st and 10 for the Rider Raiders. Kind of a funny-looking backfield, almost an inverted wishbone. Now they'll break out of that. Zemanski flanked by Reese. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. 7:49 left in the first, no score. This is Zemanski rolling, wanting to throw. Screen set up, has his man, Reese. He's trying to find blockers, and he's going to shed one tackler. Can't shed the next two. Corey Robertson finishes off what Mario Polk started. Well, Monte, the big plays so far have belonged to the other black and gold team here at Munson Stadium.
The return teams, you know, Coach Brown was talking about how well his special teams played last week. That is not happening so far tonight. The return teams have been fabulous for the Rider Raiders.
Slot man to the right for the Raiders. Zemanski alone in the backfield. He'll send his slot man in motion. 2nd down and long. Zemanski back to pass. Pressure comes. He'll step up. He's trying to get away from Vinny Rhodes. Vinny Rhodes got him! He goes down at the original line of scrimmage, sacked in the backfield.
That's going to bring it back to about the 33-yard line. Now, Vinny Rhodes, I believe that's his 2nd sack of the year, and that is correct. Vinny Rhodes coming backside pressure, and Zemanski never even knew he was coming.
I thought Vinny might get a chance to knock the ball free. Zemanski about to cock the arm. But the big V-man himself, Vinny Rhodes, got there and turned 2nd and short into 3rd and 11 from the 32. Zemanski breaks the backfield, a 5 wide out look on 3rd down and long. He's back to pass, sets up the screen, has the man inside, and he's going to get the 1st down. He's going to be very close. The inside was a wide receiver screen, and it's going to go down to the 21-yard line. It's going to be right on the marker. And the man that caught the ball on that inside screen, David Nelson, who's 6'6" at 190 pounds, 7 catches, 205 yards, and 3 touchdowns coming into the game.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And they run that inside screen kind of like Dennison likes to.
Back at Munson Stadium, a concerned crowd watching the Raiders. 1st and 10 with the Jacket 21. Zemanski called for the ball, but somebody jumped as the Jackets were playing horse. The Jacket band, rather, playing horse on the far side. Maybe someone didn't hear the snap count.
Well, Dylan James on the left tackle is going to be guilty of a false start. He's a 6'1", 210-pound senior on the left side, and that's not going to make Coach Scott Ponder very happy on the Riders bench over there.
You know, I asked Coach Ponder, I asked him today, hey, any difference going 1A to 4A? He said none at all. It's blocking and it's tackling. And so far tonight, he's called a very good game and kept the Yellow Jacket defense a little bit befuddled. 1st and 15, checking off at the line. The ball at the 26-yard line. Zemansky all kinds of times going to throw the home run ball to the right. Marcus Davis is there. Did he make the interception? Yes! Dennison comes away with its 6th interception of the season, and they'll bring it out to the 20 as Marcus Davis gets INT number 3.
Yeah, Marcus Davis, that's a great job down in the end zone. Both he and the receiver went up for the ball. Davis came down with it. That's twice that the Rider Raiders have penetrated inside Denison Yellow Jacket territory, and both times come away with 0 points.
Absolutely outstanding position by Marcus Davis. You cannot coach it any better than what he just did. Now let's see what the Jacket offense can do. 2nd possession of the game, 1st and 10, 5:49 to go in the 1st. No score as Dennison takes the Marcus Davis turnover. Robertson got the high toss, tried to head right, broke a tackle, look out, 20, 25, 30, he might be gone. Robertson to the 40, a man to beat, to the 40, to the 30, 25, to the 15, 10, 5, stick it in the end zone, put it on the scoreboard. Corey Robertson, an 80-yard touchdown run, the longest of his career.
Oh, and it's one of the greatest that you'll ever see. He started at the 20-yard line, bounced out of a few tackles, and on his way just when you thought he was down. It was an unbelievable run. 5:32 left to go in the 1st quarter. Corey Robertson just electrifies Munson Stadium.
Oh, my, and he caused me to be out of breath. Couldn't even get him in the end zone. When I saw him spin out of the tackle, I knew right then he was going to the house. And Nathan Farley on, he's been perfect in the PAT department. He'll try to make it a 7-0 lead. And Fink ready to hold. Grimes to snap. Flag on the play. Farley drilled it right down the middle. I think the Raiders may have jumped. Denison, if it's offsides against Wichita Falls Rider, might think about going for 2. But the Coach Brown says decline it. Let's check the penalty, make sure it is against the Raiders. I don't know. The Jackets are staying out of the field. Now they're going to decline it. And with 5:32 to go, thanks to an 80-yard Corey Robertson touchdown run, the longest of his just getting started career, it's 7-0 Denison. We're back after this timeout. Raiders.
Folks, we told you to get to Munson Stadium to watch this kid run last week, did we not?
David Nelson and James Davis back deep to return the kick. And it's going to be Davis who takes it up to the 10-15, runs right up the middle. He breaks free. Look out, he's got a seam. And he's finally going to be brought down at the 39, maybe the 40-yard line. Boy, he looked a little electrifying right there. We may have another high-scoring affair between these two teams.
Yeah, thanks to Desmond Banker, who finally brought him down at the 41-yard line. Still another great return by the Rider Raiders.
How about Desmond Baker's 80-yard interception return last week? I don't care what the print said. It was 80 by our count as he took it to the house in that 37-0 win. And speaking of taking it to the house, Corey Robertson just took it to the house, 80 yards to electrify the home crowd.
Yeah, he sure did, but you have to give it really to
the line.
Gary Wetz, Vincent Rhodes, Robert Hoekstra, and Matt Jones, and also his little tight end, a little bitty tight end over there, Josh Vaughn.
Yeah, he's kind of small, isn't he? Zemansky in the shotgun position, and I believe he's got a new back in the backfield. We'll have to check on Davis and see if anything's wrong. This is going to be Zemansky coming near side, got his man, but quickly there is the Yellow Jackets, Marcus Davis and Anthony Hines.
Well, Hines drug him out of bounds. Nice play over there by Hines, playing that rover position, kind of pushed him out. And I think if they get 5 yards on each play, the Rider's going to be happy. Dennison is not.
Jared Mercandante on the tackle, and it's Brent Gallagher in the ball game at the backfield spot. This is Zemansky going for the home run ball, and it may have been intercepted again. It's dropped. It was Anthony Hines, or check that, Brad Aday over there in coverage, and it went in his hands. I think the receiver actually helped knock it away.
Well, he may have. I saw the receiver put his hand on the back of Aday as well.
3rd down and about 5 to go. The ball at the 47. Zemanski's got a gun. Of course, if you listened to the game last year, you know that because he started as a sophomore at times last year. Nobody in the backfield. 5 wide out look. He'll send James Davis in motion. Does Blake Zemanski, the quarterback, on 3rd down and 5.
Dennison back to their 4-man front.
Flags and whistles, and this one's not going to go anywhere. Think the man in motion turned up too soon. Sherman 7, Poteet nothing in the first quarter. That's our only other score. Our score, an identical 7-0. The Yellow Jackets on top. Terrell and Greenville no score. Denton, Ryan, and Ennis. We have no score, but I bet there is something there. You think?
Yeah, I bet there is. Oh, Graham Harrell, I'm sure they got things moving down there.
Has he not graduated yet?
I don't believe so. That's going to be a legal procedure on the Rider Raiders, so push them back 5 yards to between the 41 and the 42. 3rd and 10.
Rider Raiders tonight in 3rd down conversions are 1 out of 3. 3rd down and 10 now. 4 wide out look. Actually, they're going to line a tight look to the left, and this is Zemanski. He's trying to throw the screen, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, he threw it right in front of the receiver in the backfield. That's going to be James Davis, kind of his slot back over there, kind of threw it out in front of him. It was close to being a lateral as it scampers out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage, but it's going to bring up 4th down and punting time for the Rider Raiders. And remember, they've got a kid that can really boot that football, and his name is Jose Calderon, and we were watching him in the warm-ups kicking about 50 in the air.
54 games since the Jackets have taken a punt back to the end zone. Let's see if they can break that streak here. Calderon standing at the 28. Not much pressure, and it's an end-over-end kick that I believe Hines is going to take on the hop. 25 up to the 30, 35, 40. Hines may break the streak to the 40, 35, to the 25, 20. The streak's over. Anthony Hines takes it to the house. 74 yards on the punt return, and for the first time since 1997, Dennison has taken a punt back for 6.
54 games. 54 games is what it has been all the way back to 1997 and DeJuan prime time. Gentry
against Mount Pleasant, and I was so excited I didn't even get it in there, but Anthony Hines, for the 2nd time this season, stick it in the end zone, put it on the scoreboard, touchdown Dennison, and what was a big concern just moments ago is suddenly a 13-0 Dennison lead. 80 yards for Corey Robertson on his touchdown run. Anthony Hines, 74 on a punt return, and Nathan Farley remains perfect on the year in the PAT department. 4:27 to go in the first. If you went to the fridge, you're not going to believe this score. 14-0 Dennison, and less than 3 minutes ago we were in a scoreless tie. Back in a moment with more Dennison Yellow Jacket football. He's going to bang it, and it's going to be taken by Reese Davis. He loses the football at the 10, picks it up at the 15, and he's trying to break tackles on the far sideline. Got out to the 24-yard line. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Dennison Yellow Jacket football on the Next Media Radio Network. Back at Munson Stadium, Jason Smith, our Brancher Funeral Home sideline man. Jason, you need to speak with Mike Fisher. Doc, I think I need an oxygen bottle if they're going to keep doing that.
I'm going to need one just trying to keep up on the sidelines.
Yeah, you kind of got left behind trying to run down and chase that one into the end zone. I think Anthony left you about the 30. But that's a good problem to have. Fumbled snap by Zemanski. He'll have to fall on the football back at the 10-yard line. It went right to him, right through his hands, and maybe Ryder getting a little befuddled themselves.
Yeah, it could be that. Remember, we've got a wet ground tonight, and of course they're rotating in footballs, but anytime that ball touches the ground, it's going to be a little wet.
4 minutes to go in the first quarter, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm not kidding you. If you went to the refrigerator less than 10 minutes ago, you've missed the entire football game. Corey Robertson, 80 yards to the house. 7-0 Dennison. Anthony Hines says, whatever you can do, big fella, I can do almost as good. And 74 yards on a punt return to the house.
Hines has 4.4 speed.
And he turned the Jets on at the 50, and it was over. Zemanski on 1st and 22. Calls a timeout. Back at Munson Stadium, 3s across the board. 3:33 to go in the first. 14-zip Dennison leading Ryder. And Zemansky on 2nd and 22, calling for the football. Hard snap count. Looks right. Now he wants to come back left. Sets the screen up. It's a beauty to the 10-15. Corey Robertson almost had Davis at the 17, but he couldn't hang on, and he gets out to the 20-yard line. It's going to be short of the first down, but I said Davis. It was Mitchell Reese, rather, who was back in the ballgame as the fullback.
Well, Robertson was really making a beeline to the ball carrier to really light him up, but just missed him at about the 15.
That's going to be 3rd down and long. They say his knee actually touched way back at the 19. I thought he got out to the 26, but his knee went down at the 19. So 3rd down, 13. The ball at the 19-yard line. Reese in motion. Mitchell Reese goes in motion. 5 wide out look. Zemansky for the Raiders. Now they'll send another man, Davis, in motion. And Zemansky back with the football. Has pressure in his face. Throws. It is incomplete. 3 black jerseys. All 3 standing around going, I don't know. Do you want it? I don't know. Yeah, maybe you can take it.
Maybe like a Bermuda Triangle out there of Kyle Richards, Matt Fink, and I believe it was Anthony Hines. They were all 3 right there kind of looking at each other. One of those Pete Incaviglia type. Do I get it? Do you get it?
That was it. It was the deer in the headlights look right there. Another punt. Calderon. Let's see. Can Dennison make it 2 punt returns for a touchdown? They probably won't kick it in 27's direction, so maybe.
I bet they kick it out of bounds.
They might do it. Robertson and Hines standing at the 48. Calderon is going to boot it, as you said, to the near sideline, and it goes out at the 46-yard line as Hines kind of chuckles and comes over to the near sideline. So Dennison will start 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. It is actually a very nice evening for high school football.
Still the first quarter. You got plenty of time.
2 tight ends set. Crawley is going to hand it off. Means coming near side. He's got a big hole. 45 lowers the shoulder. 40 still rumbling to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, he gets out of bounds there after finally being brought down by one of the linebackers. Mitchell Reed, I think, was one of the Mitchell Reese. He was one of the guys over there, and also Nick Rogers.
Scores to pass along to you, 7-0 Sherman over Poteet in the first quarter. Greenville, this is a little bit of a surprise, 14-3 over Terrell in the first. Denton Ryan and Ennis, we don't have a score yet on that ball game. Our score, 14-zip. Dennison in the lead, 2:27 to go in the first quarter, and we're already at 10 minutes after 8. It's been a long first quarter.
Yeah, it really has.
Of course, Dennison runs the ball every down, and Wichita Falls Rider throws it on every down. So Dave Hilton might be a little late with the Red River High School scoreboard show tonight. Straight eye look, tight look to the right. One man, actually a 2 tight set for Dennison. 2nd and short. This is the handoff. Fumble on the play. The ball's loose. Ryder has recovered, I believe. As the ball was handed to the fullback, it's going to be the last man off the bottom of the pile. Ryder recovered it. It's only a question of whether they come out of the pile, and they say they do. And, in fact, it is the 2nd fumble of the year for the Yellow Jackets. The linebacker Gallagher, Brent Gallagher, met, I believe that was Means, the fullback, right as he got the football from Will Crawley. Somebody missed the block on Gallagher, who was shooting the gap. And the Yellow Jackets have laid it on the carpet. 2:19 to go in the first, so the first mistake in a while for the Yellow Jackets. It started out a little bit antsy for Denison fans as Ryder drove twice inside the 20-yard line. It's working pretty good for the Jackets now, 14-0. Zemansky from the shotgun, standing at the 34-yard line. Going to hand it off. Mitchell Reese has room to run. Lost the football, and there's a scramble for it. Dennison may have gotten it right back.
Yeah,
Benny Rhodes says, we got it.
I believe they did get it. They're standing at about the 36-yard lines. Kyle Richards is the guy who poked the football out of the hands of the back.
Can you believe that?
Of the running back. And now they say that Ryder somehow got back on it, and I believe that's going to be Shane Russell for the Rider Raiders.
Wow, I don't know how he got that football. He wasn't really, I thought, anywhere close to it, but he did come out of the bottom of the pile with it, as Davis never got a clean handle on it. So turnovers have played a factor so far tonight. No points from it. Zemansky trying to set the screen up, the inside screen, and he's got a man, and it's going to be caught. Going to be a short gain for the inside, what a lot of people would call a tight end screen. James Davis not really in the tight end slot. It's kind of hard to describe this offense. He's not really in a flanker spot. He's not really in a slot spot. He's not really in a tight end spot. He's just kind of out there.
Well, it is more of a kind of a slot type of position, if you're going to call it that. It favors that more than it does anything else.
But it's a very wide slot.
It's kind of a deep slot.
3rd down and 5. 1 out of 5 for the Raiders tonight in 3rd down conversions. The ball at the 44. 14-zip, Dennison leading. Zemansky, the hard snap count. 4-5, wide out look. Calls for the ball. Lost it through his hands. Now he's got to run for his life, trying to set the screen up to the near side. He's got pressure in the backfield. The ball is fumbled. Kyle Richards is going to draw a flag.
Well, and I think it's going to be intentional grounding because Kyle Richard had him in the grass, was about to throw him down at the 22-yard line, and as he was going down, he just chunked the ball out of bounds, and you can't do that. That's intentional grounding. That'll go against the Rider Raiders, and field position will be key here for Denison as they should get it back looking very good.
The Wizard. Calderon, high snap, and he almost had the kick blocked. It's a wobbly kick, goes out of bounds off the side of his foot. I believe that was Josh Vaughn that came running in, or was that Richards? That's Vaughn. Almost got there for the block. They're going to walk it back upfield, and let's see where it crossed the out-of-bounds boundary, and it's going to be the 46-yard line with 38 seconds to go. Josh Vaughn nearly with a huge play right there. Not much on the average tonight for Mr. Calderon. 1st and 10 from the 46. I formation, Polk into the game at fullback. 2 tight set, 1 wide out, far to the right. That's going to be, I believe, Hutchins. This is going to be Robertson getting the carry left. Look out, room to run. Stiff arms to the 40, 35, stays inbounds 30, 25, 20. He's to the 10, 5. Stick it in the end zone. Put it on the scoreboard. Can you believe it? Touchdown, Dennison.
He's knocked down Nick Rogers at the 40-yard line, stiff-armed him and shoved him to the ground. Made a cutback move at the 15 and was gone. Oh, baby, is he fun to watch.
I got to start working out if he's going to keep doing this. I ran out of gas again. He is incredible to watch. And if you're not at Munson Stadium tonight, I know it was wet. I know it rained. Shame on you.
Shame on you. Holy cow.
Let's try these first quarter numbers on for Corey Robertson. I said he had a big 200-yard night last year against Ryder. He had a big 200-yard night in the rain against Greenville. And ladies and gentlemen, as Nathan Farley makes it 21-0, Corey Robertson in the first quarter, 6 carries, 140 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. We're back after this timeout. 3 minutes is a very key stat as Nathan Farley preps for the Cable One kickoff. That's how long the Jackets have had the ball offensively, and yet they lead 21-0. The ball is dead at the 17, and the Rider Raiders, oh, what a stick at the 21-yard line.
Well, it was a great job by Marcus Davis. Came through and smashed his blocker right at the 22-yard line, went through his blocker onto the ball carrier, and made the stop right at the 20.
James Davis had to really hustle up for the ball. It died, literally died at the 17, hit in one of those wet areas that Jason Smith was telling us about, and just died. And he had to hustle up for the ball, and by the time he got there at the 17, Desmond Baker was coming like a runaway freight train. And company, I might add. And do you believe this? We're still not out of the first quarter. 22 seconds to go, 21-zip Dennison. Zemansky in the shotgun, calls for the ball, hands it off. Mitchell Reese running up the middle, going to break a couple of tackles and get about 6, maybe 7 yards on first down. And finally, mercifully, for the Rider Raiders, who twice in the first 5 minutes were inside the Dennison 20-yard line, but were denied, they now trail at the end of one, 21-0 here on Katy Country. We have expired the first quarter, and maybe the Raiders with it. We're back in a moment after this timeout. 2nd and short. He's going to hand it off. Mitchell Reese on the draw play. He runs up the middle, has the first down, still runs to the 40-yard line, and the Raiders have something to cheer about after just getting absolutely blindsided. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. Jason, what's up with Marcus?
Well, Marcus Davis is being tended by the trainer right now, the team trainer. And it does look to be some sort of a shoulder injury. He is grimacing, but he is moving his arm in full rotation, so that is a good sign.
Of course, Mike Fisher, Doc, is the Yellow Jacket trainer working on Marcus Davis right now. 1st and 10, Zemansky calls for the ball. Here comes pressure. He steps up, tries to deliver it over the middle, has a man. It's caught. And the Yellow Jackets' Nathan Farley makes a touchdown-saving tackle at the 29-yard line as James Davis found the seam. And Zemanski stepped up, avoided the pressure, and drilled it in there. 11:25 to go in the first half of play. It's 21-0 Dennison. The Rider Raiders have been entertaining tonight offensively, but they have nothing to show for it with 11:23 and cranking in the first.
That was a nice catch and a throw and catch actually all the way down to the 29.
Zemanski looks right, throws, has a man out there. It's going to be caught at the line of scrimmage, and the receiver turns it up for 6 or 7 yards. That's going to be Jared Mercandante, who's going to be brought down on the far sideline. It's going to be second down and short. And, you know, this is a really tough offense to defend against because it is a 5, 6, 7 yard nickel and dime you and then break a big one kind of offense.
It is a big play offense. Well, they have thrown the home run ball twice so far tonight. And they will do that on occasion as they move 6, 7, 8 yards right there. You might see a strike towards the end zone.
Chad Roberts in for the injured Marcus Davis at left corner. Brad Ade on the near sideline, and this is going to be a handoff. Gallagher, the running back, running right, nowhere to go. Ball's on the turf. Dennison says they've got it, and they do. Anthony Hines has his first fumble cause of the year, and we'll check who it is that got on the football. Hines knocked it out. And the last man up to get the ball is going to be Vinny Rhodes with his first fumble recovery of 2003.
Nice job, Vincent Rhodes, and a better job of Anthony Hines getting over there and knocking the ball out. You got to hand it. You know, the Rider Raiders have been inside Dennison territory a couple of times now, and they have come away with points, with 0 points each time. So you have to hand it to the Yellow Jackets defense. They're playing just as well as the offense is.
Try this on for size. So far, Dennison's opponents have not converted for points inside the red zone this entire season. This is going to be a handoff. Scooter Means coming to the near side on the counter. 27, maybe the 28-yard line as Robertson went left. Means cut it back right. And let me explain that. You say, well, wait a minute. How did Terrell get 14 on the board and not break the red zone? Well, they were long plays. They didn't start inside the 20-yard line. So there was no official red zone penetration. And so far on the season, no one's gotten in the red zone and scored yet.
Ryder has had 30 offensive plays. Dennison only 9.
Too tight set for the Yellow Jackets. Roberts out wide to the left. Means and Robertson in the backfield. This is going to be Robertson coming near side, trying to stiff arm his way out of one tackler, and he can't do it. Let's see, that was the linebacker, Brian Parker, who got a hold of Robertson's jersey and said, you're not going anywhere this time. But I want to tell you, if he got by Parker, it was nothing but soggy turf in front of him.
Yeah, he was trying to do that stiff arm move again as he did on his touchdown run a moment ago, but he wasn't able to finally throw him down as he did Nick Rogers over here at the 40. He wasn't able to just manhandle him like he did then.
Jeremy Kimbrell in the ball game. He'll split wide to the left, 2 tights, offset eye, as this is going to be Means getting the toss, coming near side, turns it up to the 30 and pounds his way to a first down at the 32-yard line. Nice little misdirection there. Robertson was lined up at the tailback spot, Means at the fullback spot. On the snap, Means stood his ground. Robertson cut in front of him, faked the grab on the handoff. Means got it from Crawley quickly and came to the near side.
You know, and the Yellow Jackets are going to have to do things like that in order to balance this offense. You can't just give it to Robertson every time. People will stack 8, 9, 10 people in the box. You're going to have to do something different, and throwing the ball is going to have to come about at some point this season.
This is going to be a toss. Robertson running free. Maybe not yet. 45 to the 50 and into Rider territory at the 44-yard line.
He followed Vinny Rhodes all the way to the 48 and then finally tossed Vinny aside and said, I'm going to do it on my own, and got down to the 44-yard line. Maybe now they're going to call it the 45. Wow.
Young man is pretty incredible to watch. 23 yards, and he's up over 160 yards tonight. And we've got 8:44 to go in the first half. Offset eye. This is Crawley. First pass attempt of the night. Tries to come back with a screen, but was hit as he let go of the football. And he's a little slow to get up, shaking the cobwebs out, holding his throwing arm. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man, Jason. He took a pretty hard pop.
It was a pretty hard pop, but he's a pretty tough guy and pretty thick for a quarterback. He's going to be fine.
Mitchell Reese is the guy that was in his face and brought him down at the time he was throwing. And that'll bring up second down and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Crawley certainly not an outstanding year as far as numbers are concerned, only 76 yards coming in. that his first pass attempt of the night, but he was 500 in the completion ratio department coming in. This is Robertson getting the toss, heading right. Flag on the play. Robertson is going to reverse field and be drug out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That's going to be against the Yellow Jackets, you'd have to believe, because the head linesman threw the flag at the line of scrimmage.
And the Yellow Jackets pretty good so far in the season in the flag department, not committing too many on, let me try to look this up, and I can't find it. There it is. 8 penalties for 75 yards so far this season, so not bad starting out.
Want to see who's come to play? Number 42's got a lot of mud on that jersey.
Yeah, he was thrown onto the Yellow Jacket sideline just then, and the Yellow Jacket sideline is a quagmire.
Illegal shift is the indication against the Yellow Jackets, and Scott Ponder says, please, take it.
Yeah.
We'll take anything we can get right now.
Well, that time before the snap, the Yellow Jackets sent several men in motion. Tight end moved across to the other side. They had the wide receivers coming across to the other side, and apparently they didn't get set in time.
Yellow Jackets with a couple of new faces into the ball game, including Jeremy Kimbrell and Carrionzo Harris. It'll be 2nd down and 15. The ball back at the midfield stripe. Means the offset fullback. Robertson dots the I. 2 receivers left. Play action. Crawley. Pressure comes. Tries to get the screen up. Robertson, great grab. 45, 50, 35. Still going. Tight roping. Still going. 40, 35, 30. Cuts it to the inside and down at the 26. How does he do it?
I don't know.
He tight roped down a muddy sideline, literally stopped on a dime, was not even going forward, let a tackler go by and turned it on again. Jason Smith, you could get a hernia trying to catch that guy.
You can get a hernia watching him.
23-yard reception, and give Crawley a lot of credit. The heat was coming in the kitchen, and he got the ball off. Robertson made the nice high grab and turned the Jets on. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Dennison up 21-0, looking for more. Means gets it, heading right. He's got room to run. 20, 15, 10. Inside the 10, still going to the 5. Means still going down to the goal line. Stick it in the end zone. Put it on the scoreboard. 27 yards of 2nd, 3rd, and 4th effort for the Yellow Jacket junior fullback.
Means never quit. He got to the 5-yard line. Was even standing still. Guys trying to take the ball away. He kept those legs turning, and he got and dove within the pylon. And Lynn, you can stick it in the end zone and you can put it on that scoreboard, because that's what they're doing. 7:52 left, 27-0, awaiting the PAT.
17 carries coming into the game for 92 yards and a goose egg for Scooter Means in the touchdown department, but you can now erase it because he just took it 27 to the house. This is Farley, tries to make his PAT streak stand true, and it does. 28-0, 7:52 to go in the first. The Jackets in a laugher. We're back after this timeout. Longest offensive possession of the night on the Cable One kickoff. Nathan Farley bounding it down the field, and it's going to die, taken by Tieto up at the 25. Look out, he's got room to run. He's to the 50, to the 45, and drugged down from behind. That was not Tieto, it was Nieto, Ruben Nieto.
And it was Josh Vaughn who brought him down on the other side into Denison Yellow Jacket territory, right about the 45-yard line.
Scott Ponder telling us before the game, he said, look, we understand how good Dennison is, and he said, I just hope we can be hanging around at the end of the game. Well, you know what? They're not even going to be hanging around at the end of the half the way this thing's going.
Well, although they have had field position all night long.
Yeah, no offense to them.
They have had it down into Denison Yellow Jacket territory all night long. They just have not been able to capitalize, and they've kind of shot themselves in the foot at times.
Well, how about the Jacket D? We've given the O a lot of credit, but the Jacket D has forced 3 turnovers. They are now +8 in the turnover ratio department. Zemanski standing at the 50, calls for the ball, hands it off. Mitchell Reese coming near side, nowhere to go, buried in the backfield, a 3-yard loss.
Well, there's lots of Yellow Jackets right there, as Kyle Richards one, Mario Polk another, right there on the stop. Kyle Richards came into the game as the leading tackler, and he has really torn it up so far this year. He came into this game with 18 unassisted tackles and 8 assisted for a total of 26, by far leading this football team.
How's this for a new streak? Dennison working on 7 quarters since an opponent scored. 7:10 to go in the first half. Zemanski fumbling the football, picking it up, throwing, almost blocked, picked off, and it's going to the house, Anthony Hines is going to be gone. Zemanski is chasing him, but he won't catch him. And 55 yards later, Dennison continues the route.
Oh my, is this getting fun or what, Lynn Burkhead?
Stick it in the end zone and put it on the scoreboard. Anthony Hines has taken it 74 yards to the end zone tonight. He just took it 55, and Dennison is up 34-0, 6:56 left in the first.
Let it rain every week. Let it rain every week. We'll take it all the time.
Well, you could see that coming when he stepped in front of the intended wideout, and I believe that was James Davis again. It was over. Zemanski tried valiantly, but he got there about 3 yards too late as Hines crossed into the end zone, and Farley's tired. He was tying his shoe. And he says, wait a minute. You know, I was going to give some credit on Scooter Means' run, and I better do it real quick. It was an awesome hole opened up on the right side by Matt Jones and Robert Hoogstra that Means just ran through without ever looking back. And he was able to pound it 27 yards into the end zone. And now, when it rains, it pours, and it's not pouring from the skies, but for the Raiders, it's pouring because, can you believe it? They had too many men on the field, and Denison's now going for 2. Why not? They need to work on this for very important key ball games down the road, like with Greenville, who's leading Terrell 21-3 in the second quarter.
Watch Robertson here.
Robertson is in the backfield, gets the toss, heads right, met at the goal line, sheds the tackler, and he's got his third 2-point conversion of the season. 36-0, 6:56 to go. The route is on, and Dennison is heading down the road to 3 wins to start the 2003 season. We're back after this timeout. Deep for yet another Cable One kickoff. Nathan Farley is going to bang the football down the field, and it's going to be taken by the up man yet again, Nieto, and he's going to go up the field to the 30, spins out of a couple of tackles before he spun to the turf himself at the 35-yard line. 6:47 to go in the first half of play, and I'm not kidding, ladies and gentlemen. If you left about 8 minutes deep into the first quarter and you come back now, you're not going to believe what the score is. It was 0-0 about 5 minutes deep into this game. It's now 36-0 Denison. And how about an American Bank of Texas score recap? I don't think we can really call it a drive.
Yeah, it was an interception returned by Anthony Hines, 55 yards, brings our new score 36-0 here at Munson Stadium. 6:47 left to go before the Grays Credit Jewelers halftime show.
Zemanski high snap, trying to set the screen up, going to throw it inside. It's going to be caught by David Nelson, and he gets right out to the first down marker, about 10, maybe 11 yards on the reception. Check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline, man. Let's get an injury update on Marcus Davis. He's got the pads off. Jason, is he done for the night?
Marcus is done for the night, but that is more of a score reason than an injury reason. He officially has just a stinger, no separation, nothing serious. He's shaken off, and he was pretty upset when Doc said he wasn't going back into the game because it was pretty well in hand.
This is going to be Zemanski completing another pass out on the far corner, and that might have been Reese who lined up in that slot position. We'll check the number. Zemanski's got a pretty good gun. It was not Reese, it was Jared Mercandante, 6'1", 185, and a senior. I don't know what they feed those kids over there in Wichita County, but they got a lot of 6-foot-plus kids.
Yeah, they really do. Their left guard is just humongous.
2nd and 2 from the 47. Zemanski is going to give it on the draw. Check that, it's Reese into the ball game, and he is pile drive backwards, but not before he gets the first down. Picked up 3 yards, and at the end of that, he nearly met his maker, as I believe that was that Vinny Rhodes? Yeah, Vinny Rhodes got him. And when Vinny Rhodes gets the bullseye drawn on you,
you don't want to be in the bullseye.
You don't want to be on the other end.
Yeah.
Yellow Jackets not winning the statistical battle. 7 first downs for Dennison and 7 now for the Raiders. But, hey, the only thing that counts is 36 zip on the board. What an electrifying night. Zemanski back to pass. Pressure comes. Throws. It's complete. Mercandante has another first down. And the ball is going to be all the way down to about the 32-yard line as Chad Roberts in for the injured Marcus Davis, playing a little soft left corner over there. And I think the Jackets are content to play a little soft right now and burn some clock.
Well, Zemanski has a rifle. He just cannoned it over there to his wide receiver, Mercandante. And I'm telling you what, he's got one of the better arms I've seen this year.
Well, we've got to correct a score for you. We told you 14-0 Sherman. It's been corrected 10-0 Sherman at the half. 1st and 10, Zemansky flanked by Reese, and he's going to hand it off. Reese, the ball's on the turf. Reese barely gets back on it. And, man, when it rains, it pours for the Raiders.
Yeah, they are back on the football. I believe, it was Reese who recovered his own fumble.
21-3, Greenville over Terrell. A little bit of a surprise there. Thought Terrell would give them a pretty tough contest, and they may still come back to do it, but Greenville off to the nice start on the year. Of course, that's going to be one of the must-win games for the Yellow Jackets in district play. Denton Ryan and Ennis were still trying to get a score, also trying to get a score of Howell and Van Alstyne. The battle of Southern Grayson County. Zemansky throws incomplete in the battle on the north end of Grayson County between Dennison and Ryder. It is incomplete. The intended wideout, Josh Ozuna, first time we've called his name tonight. Actually, we called his name a lot last year, but not so far tonight.
Yeah, he fell down at the 27-yard line. Would have been a nice catch if he could have kept his feet, but he simply just fell down.
Have to go back and check. But I believe Ozuna was actually one of the quarterbacks last year for the Ryder Raiders. Zemansky got a lot of play, though, and we got a stoppage in play. 4:50 left in the half. We're going to join the Raiders. They want to talk about it, and for good reason. They're down 36-0 to Dennison. We're back after this time. We're back at Munson Stadium. 4:50 to go in the half. Zemansky back on 3rd and 12. Pressure in his face. Throws a wounded duck up, and it's going to be incomplete. Maybe a flag. No, the official thought about it, reached for it, and then waved it off, said it was uncatchable. Scott Ponder does not agree because playing pretty good defense, Matt Fink. Ponder's arguing that he impeded the receiver's progress, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, you can hear the far side boos. Sounds like we're at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The Wichita Falls bringing a nice crowd over here, too, for their Ryder Raiders. And they're not getting the better end of this ticket that they bought. 4:42 left to go before the Grays Credit Jewelers halftime show. Dennison all over the Raiders, 36-0.
4th and 12 from the 35. The Raiders 0 for 2 in 4th down conversions tonight. This is 4th and 12. Zemansky back to pass. Screen. The Yellow Jackets sniff it out but can't make the tackle, and it may be a first down. It's going to be close, as I believe that was David Nelson. It was who snuck in for that inside receiver position on the screen. And you know what? Did you see the recognition by the Yellow Jacket defensive line? They came up the field, said, whoops, wait a minute, and backed off and nearly got the tackle.
Yeah, Brad Aday is the guy who saved the tackle at about the 22-yard line. It's going to make it interesting whether they got the first down or not. I don't believe that they're going to be, I think they're going to be about a yard shy, but they're going to bring out the chains and see.
Yeah, I think they're going to be shy. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. He's got a bird's eye view in the mud. Jason, what's it going to be?
Well, guys, I'm going to go against you and say they got it.
Wow, okay.
All right, well, he was wrong earlier tonight.
He's got the better view.
Dennison says first down, Yellow Jackets. He did get it.
He got it by
man,
a yard.
It's not even close.
Did I say? I said he was going to get it by a yard.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. About the only questions that remain right now, of course, we still got a lot of football to play, and Ryder certainly has proven they can move the football. But I think right now the only questions to answer is whether the goose egg will remain on the board and whether Corey Robertson will get to 200 before he gets taken out. Remember, he only needs one more game at 200 plus to tie the school record as a junior for 200-yard career games, that is. Zemansky, new set of downs, empty backfield, 5 wideouts, thought somebody jumped. Zemansky going to run it. There's the flag. Somebody did jump, and it was James Davis who shot the snap about a half step too soon.
Well, and Zemansky tried to take off on the quarterback draw. We see that a lot from Crawley in the Dennison side, but he tripped over the size 16 shoes of Josh Vaughn and didn't go very far.
Jesse Dixon patting someone on the head. It might be Kyle Richardson. It is going to be illegal procedure against the Ryder Raiders.
Going to move the ball back to about the 26-yard line, in between the 26 and the 27.
Sorry, Jesse, that was actually Josh Prado that patted Kyle Richards on the head and said, so far so good, big fella. You know, when Dennison and Ryder get together lately, the scoreboard operator has had to keep the finger ready to punch the buttons because they have lit it up in recent years. Dennison holding their end of the bargain up now. Man in motion, empty backfield. Zemanski rolling right. Pressure in his face, going to throw the home run ball into the end zone. It's going to be knocked away. A great play, and I believe that was Chad Roberts who made it. Check it, it was Matt Fink who made the play and knocked it away, saving a touchdown.
Just being lucky that he threw the home run ball and didn't try to throw it out to Ozuna, because Ozuna was wide open on the right side over towards their sideline, and if he would have hit Ozuna, he probably would have scored because his receiver down that he threw to took all the defenders with him.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Scott Ponder and offensive coordinator Keith Matheny for the Rider Raiders probably going to come back to something like that before this night is over with. 2nd down and 15. The ball at the Denison 26. A man in motion. Somebody may have jumped again. No flag. Zemanski comes near side, overthrows his man. It is almost intercepted, but it couldn't be because I believe that was Brad Aday. He couldn't keep the feet in bounds. He picked the ball as it was tipped, but he could not drag both feet down in bounds, and the official saying, nope, out of bounds, 3rd and 15.
Still a nice job by the Denison Yellow Jackets. Nathan Farley, Mario Polk over in coverage as well, and Brad Aday right there to pick the ball off. Just happened that he was out of bounds.
3:47 left in the first half. Lynn Burkhead, Monte Walker, and the crew, thanks for joining us tonight. Denison heading to 3-0 in the year, 36-0. You can't say heading to 3-0 very often with 3:47 to go in the first half, but you might be able to tonight. Zemanski throwing the ball downfield. It's a tip drill, incomplete. The ball was going to be out of bounds. Aday giving coverage at the pylon as the intended receiver, David Nelson, had to pull up, wait on the ball to get there. And Aday just played perfect ball.
Well, he did, and I think the ball kind of went through Nelson's hands as well. Hit him right on the number 4 that he wears and kind of just hit him in the chest and bounced off.
It's been kind of the way tonight has gone for the Rider Raiders offensively. They have stretched the Denison defense. They have bent the Yellow Jacket D. They have been unable to break it so far tonight. If you want to see how they've moved inside the 20s, here's a couple of numbers for you. Rider has snapped the football offensively 40 times with 3:40 to go in the first half. The Yellow Jackets in a 36-0 laugher. Try 16. That's a pretty efficient play. Zemanski, 4th and 15, tries to set the screen up. He's got a man inside, and he's going to break a couple of tackles. He's going to get the first down by a yard.
Kyle Richards makes the stop at the 10-yard line. 3:30 left to go before the halftime. And 36-0 Denison on top. That will move the sticks.
James Davis came back to the ball. That was kind of a, what do you call that? Almost a wheel type route as he looped back downfield after sprinting upfield. He kind of made the big circle as he drove upfield, got the defender off of him, and then looped backwards about 6 yards to catch that inside screen. And it's 1st and 10 from the 10. The deepest penetration of the night for the Raiders. Denison up 36-0, 3:14 to go in the half. Zemanski runs the option. It's going to be Gallagher, who is going to be, what a great tackle. Vinny Rhodes grabs a handful of jersey as Gallagher tried to scoot upfield and says, and drug him to the turf. You got to watch that one Tuesday night on the replay. Rhodes, literally 2 yards behind, had a handful of jersey and slammed Gallagher to the turf.
Yeah, he did. He just grabbed him with his right hand around the jersey and threw him down. Going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for 2nd down and goal, actually, at the 5-yard line.
Well, the streak is in jeopardy. It has been 6 quarters and nearly 7 since an opponent has scored on the Yellow Jackets. This is going to be a quick hitter outside to Mercandante, and he's going to get it inside the 5-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd down and goal at about the 2-yard line. And let's check down with Jason Smith. Jason, do you think the Jackets really want the shutout this time? They kind of seem to be yawning right now.
Well, after the last score, Brown was on the sidelines encouraging his troops to stay in the game, saying, hey, we want to keep this goose egg at least till halftime.
3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line. Zemanski hands it off to Gallagher, and the streak is over. Gallagher's into the end zone, and for the first time in 6.5 quarters, the Yellow Jackets' opponent has put points on the scoreboard with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first half. Our new score now 36-6, but hey, the Jackets still enjoying a 30-point lead. It is not over by any stretch the way that Rider has demonstrated they can move the football, but by the same token, Rider has not demonstrated they can stop Dennison at all. Calderon on for the PAT as the Raiders go for 1. And Calderon's kick may have been pulled right or pushed right, and it was. He shanked it, or sliced it rather, and with 2:05 to go in the first half, 35-6 is our score. We're back after this timeout. Calderon is going to do the honors for Wichita Falls Rider, and I don't think he's going to kick it anywhere near 42 or 27. Brad Aday calls for the fair catch on the short pooch at the 35. There's a flag. Somebody, he took off running, but the officials.
I think what he did is he signaled for the fair catch. Then he caught the ball and he tried to take off running. I think he just had a mental lapse and thought, well, and you can't do that. It's called delay of game.
I think what he thought is, hey, I want to get in on the excitement. Everybody else is.
That may be what it is. How can you blame him for that?
Well, that's going to put the ball all the way back to the 30-yard line. And he's going to get a chance. I wondered if Robertson would even stay in the game. He is. Yes, he is. He is still in the ball game. The starter's still in there. He retreated after the kick and has not left the field. And let's see if he can get over 200. 2:05 left in the half. 36-6. First and 10, Denison. This is Robertson. He's got the toss. He's got daylight. Look out. 45, 50. He's going to 200. Robertson cuts it back in it. 35 to the 20. He's gone. Stick it in the end zone. Put it on the scoreboard. Corey Robertson, 70-yard touchdown run, and he ties the school record tonight with 1:51 to go in the first half for career 200-yard games. 5 and counting, 232 yards rushing on 9 carries.
Unbelievable.
9 carries.
Corey Robertson is now 9th all-time in the Denison Yellow Jacket history books in rushing.
And rapidly climbing, I might add. He's a human highlight film. Matt Fink's getting tired of extra points, but he's on for another one. And Farley, can he keep his perfect streak alive? Yes. 1:51 to go in the half. If you go to the fridge, folks, you're going to miss a lot of this game. 70 yards for Corey Robertson to go with an 80-yard run earlier tonight. 9 carries, 232 yards, and it's good for a 43-6 Dennison lead. We're back after this timeout.
3-6.
And Nathan Farley gives Cable One another kickoff. Look out. Davis on the return is going to get out to the 30-yard line. Let's pause 10 seconds. For station identification. You're not listening to the Houston Cougars 10 years ago. You're listening to Denison Yellow Jacket football on the Next Media Radio Network. Kevin Farr just informing us, our statistician and producer, the Wizard. Leave it to him to come up with this. As Zemanski on first down calls for the stunned Zemanski. Blake Zemanski calls for the ball. It's a draw to Mitchell Reese, runs into his own guy and gets pounded from behind by Vinny Rhodes. Kevin Farr astutely observing, and he's the only one that would ever think of this. He said, I've never done a football game where there's been 2 legal IDs in the first half.
Yeah, that never happens.
Let's explain.
It is 9 o'clock, folks.
A legal ID occurs once every hour.
On the top of the hour.
Top of the hour. And we're an hour and a half into this and still got 1:18 and counting in the first half. Zemanski back to pass. He's going to have a big night if he keeps completing passes. He doesn't complete that one to Mercandante. And it'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 8 yards to go. You want to know how crazy this game is? Zemanski has attempted, Monte, how many passes tonight?
30 passes. And to put that in perspective, the Denison Yellow Jackets all-time high in a game is 40 by Randall Ferguson back in 1971, I think. So he's 10 away from that.
3rd down and 7. This is Zemanski, tries to swing it out. The ball might be live. No, the official waves it off as the intended receiver, James Davis. It was close to being a lateral, but it was just about a yard beyond the plane of the quarterback, so it was a forward pass, incomplete. And guess who's going back? Mr. Shock himself. Well, I forget, which one is he? Is he Shock?
Awe.
Is he Awe? He's Awe. Okay, now they're Shock. Shock and Awe, and they've done both. They've both done it. They kept their end of the bargain up tonight. They go back to the 30. Robertson and
flag
Hines.
on the play.
Flag on the play on 4th and 7. Could be too many men
There's
for
12
somebody.
men on the field for the Yellow Jackets right now.
Well, it's not going to be enough for the first down, I don't think. But
Chad Roberts is coming over to talk to Coach Brown. Don't know if he is the 12th man or not, but. And now
you hear somebody saying, get Chad Roberts off the field, and
they did.
They did. It's going to be a walk-off of 5. Not enough for the first down, but the way things are going, Scott Ponder may say, hey, we're going for it. Man, you got a feel for Scott Ponder. Had a pretty good game going against Sunset when Lightning called that game, and depends on which side you believe as to whether or not Ryder won the game or not. And this is going to be called around. A high kick's going to drive Hines back inside the 30. He's going to back away, let it go. It's going to roll inside the 20 and be killed. Actually rolls inside the 15 and is going to die around the 8 or 9 yard line. So Calderon gets a pretty good punt away with 57 seconds to go in the first half.
So are we looking at about a 91-yard run here?
I don't know. I think it's time to get a lot of folks some playing time.
Even if you put Shock in there, it could still go.
Robertson is, hey, he's still in the ball game.
He's got 232 yards, 3 touchdowns on 9 carries so far tonight with 57 seconds left to go in the half.
And I'm just going to tell you, if he goes here, it's 92 yards. Okay.
I doubt that they will do much of anything right here.
And that's right. Will Crawley takes a knee. Remember, it was against Wichita Falls Ryder that
Dewan Gentry
had a huge night and some big plays. But also, how about Ronnie Ford going 99 to the house out there at, what do you call that place?
The Voodoo Palace.
Well, they brought the magic over here with them tonight. The Yellow Jackets are putting it on them.
Yeah, that was a good call and a good run over there by Ronnie Ford that year back in 2000. 99 yards, set the school record.
A record that can never be broken. But something tells me Mr. Robertson might get an opportunity to tie it before his career is over with. That should be the final, mercifully, the final play of the half, and it will be. If you left us early in the first quarter, you are just going to fall off your rocker when I give you this score. After a scoreless first 6 minutes of the ball game, Dennison has exploded for 43 points behind Corey Robertson's 232 yards rushing on 9 carries with 3 touchdowns in the first half. We are at halftime. It is 43-6 Denison. Stay tuned for a very exciting Gray's Credit Jeweler halftime show. We're back after this timeout.
Very nice man. We always.
They don't get any nicer than Ronnie Tips. Cable One kickoff is going to be taken by the Yellow Jackets. Anthony Hines, who did something a little unusual. He caught for a fair catch on the short pooch at about the 28-yard line, and that's where Dennison starts. 1st and 10, 11:59 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, you think? There's not supposed to be 45.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and they've got a lot of activities. And, well, we might need to get Mike Fisher to tape our very own sideline man, Jason Smith, because they got some of those see if you can beat this guy kind of
the last
things.
time we did that, he was injured.
Handoff to Scooter Means on the first play of the second half. Scooter's going to pop his way up to the, we'll call it the 31-yard line. Amazingly enough, Corey Robertson's still in the ball game as the Yellow Jacket tailback.
It is unbelievable. You're here in the second half, 11:42. Just started the second half. Didn't really expect to see Robertson out there.
Well, they gave Scooter a couple of yards more than I thought he had. 2nd and 7 coming up from the 30. Offset eye, receiver to the right side. Will Crawley barking the signals out. Dennison up 43-6. That's right, 43-6. Robertson gets his first carry of the second half, and it's, more of the same. as he broke tackles. He didn't get the first down, but he broke about 3 tackles and picked up a couple extra yards he probably shouldn't have.
Well, he's going to move the ball up to about the 38, which will bring down 3rd down and about 4 or 5, probably closer to 4. So we'll see if we see the passing game tonight with Will Crawley here on 3rd down.
You know, about the only thing left in question now is whether C-Rob 2 can get to 300 for the first time. He is trying to shed tacklers, and you get a little worried on that kind of thing. Somebody grabbed him around the ankles, and a couple of guys finished him off from up top on 3rd down and short. And for one of the few times tonight, Corey Robertson is denied. Yeah, a little flat looking as the Yellow Jacket O.
Coming into the second half, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and I was trying to tell him about Corey Robertson. He's carried 9 times. There's only 6 carries that he had in the first half that didn't go for touchdowns. That
pretty amazing.
Is amazing.
Josh Vaughn on to punt the football away for one of the few times tonight. Had a pretty nice punt in the first half. That was a long time ago. Vaughn, plenty of time, puts the foot into this one. It's an end-over-end kick. It's going to be taken by Reese. He's hit as he fielded the ball at the 38-yard line. Last year, that might have been a penalty, but not this year.
Well, Jeremy Grimes comes in and makes the hit, drops him at the 40-yard line. They're going to probably mark the ball right inside the 40-yard line.
I want to thank all of our sponsors who've made Yellow Jacket football possible in 2003 on K.
You don't even know how to make
This is Bradford Funeral Home. Jermaine Designs, the Cotton Patch, and Albertsons, all a part of our pregame countdown to kickoff, and we appreciate their efforts. This is Zemansky running the option. He is going to turn it up. He thought about pitching it to Reese, but he turned it up. Might have wished that he had not because Vinnie Rhodes was there to meet him.
And Kyle Richards there as well, the inside backer. You know, I think just about 9 times out of 10 you can call his name on just about every tackle.
He has been a headhunter. Mr. Richards wearing number 43 for the Yellow Jacket D.
Kind of reminds you of Bam Bam a little bit.
Yeah, it does. He came in with 28 tackles. He's added a few more tonight, 18 of those unassisted. This is going to be a carry around the right side, and it's going to be, actually, yeah, it wasn't carry. It's going to be short gain. Sets up 3rd down and long.
Anthony Hines.
9 minutes left in the 4th quarter. I got to ask, I'm a little dumb tonight. Is that at Bearcat or is that down at Mesquite?
It's in Mesquite.
Mesquite Memorial, 9 minutes left in Mesquite, and Poteet has come back to lead Sherman 13-10. 9 minutes left in their game, and we got 9 minutes and 24 left in the 3rd. This is a draw play, fumble by Reese. He picks it up, gets to the original line of scrimmage, and nowhere else, and so it should be punting time for Scott Ponder and company.
So for those of y'all listening to the Red River Scoreboard Show, obviously that one will start on KMAT, our sister station, first. Of course, they have 9 minutes left, so they'll do their post-game show and everything like that. And then Dave Hilton will probably run next door and try to do the KMAT show and somehow do the board here on Katy Country at the same time.
Well, the Raiders are going to go for it. And why not? Why not? Trailing 43-6, 4th and 4. The ball at the 46. Zemansky in the shotgun, flanked by Reese. And he wants to throw it, throws it out, has the wide out screen, and it's going to be a 1st down. Or is there a flag on the play? Nope, no flag. The official, why did he throw the beanbag? I don't understand that. He threw the, maybe he just dropped it.
In case that he didn't get the 1st down, he threw the beanbag so he could spot
for the
turnover of down. But they are going to move the sticks with 1st down at the 49-yard line, now in Dennison territory. 8:38 left to go, 3rd quarter. 43-6, Dennison on top, Munson Stadium.
Zemansky in the shotgun again. Reese will flank him for a wide out look. Reese back, or Zemansky back to pass. Pressure comes. He goes down in the backfield.
Oh my!
Vinnie Rhodes.
Vincent Rhodes just hammered him down to the ground at the 38-yard line.
4th sack of the night for the Jackets, and that's the 2nd sack of the night for Vinnie Rhodes, his 3rd of the season.
He's been all over the place tonight.
We're going to have to look up. I think the Jackets had less than 10 sacks in the entire season last year. And they got 4 tonight.
Unbelievable.
You know, sooner or later, Scott Ponder might realize if you run the ball, the clock will keep running. 7:58 to go in the third quarter, and Zemansky back in shotgun formation yet again. Of course, that's what he does on every snap. Calls for the ball. Here comes the pressure. Tries to set the screen up, and the Jackets' Vinny Rhodes breaks it up.
Well, it's almost intercepted by Anthony Hines again. Right at the 45-yard line, the ball was up, and it was kind of tipped by the receiver, Reese, and Rhodes was right there. I thought he was going to pick it off, but it fell incomplete.
Hey, I like the Yellow Jacket mascot tonight.
Is that new?
Yeah, that's a new uniform.
It's kind of got the Lynn Burkhead look to it.
Yeah, a little Mossy Oak breakup action there, the camo look. This is Zemansky, looks right, comes left, now throws it back right, and Hines is right there, lays the leather on the intended wideout. It's incomplete.
Well, it's incomplete, and you said it. Anthony Hines laid the wood on him at the 33-yard line, knocked the ball out right on the far sideline. Ryder moving from right to left on the radio dial. Now will bring up fourth down with 7:39 left to go. 43-6 at Munson Stadium. Dennison on top.
Chance Huber wondering if somebody got the license plate number of that train wreck. Well, we've already broken the streak tonight on punt returns. Anthony Hines took 174 to the house earlier. Calderon on. And will he kick it? He does. He kicks it back to Hines, who has to turn. He goes over his head into the end zone. And it's a touchback, but there's a flag. Hines got plastered from behind, and the official throws the flag. And so what would have been a touchback to the 20s probably coming out to the 35.
Yeah, and it's going to be Ishmael Heron who's going to be guilty of the infraction. The 6'2", 205 senior. Defensive end is what he's listed at, but he made kind of not a wise decision right there by hitting Hines in the back. What would have come out to the 20, well, now Dennison will obviously start in better field position than that. Probably with a personal foul will be at the 35-yard line, and when you're trying to come back from 43-6, that's not the kind of things you want to do.
Not at all. 7:29 to go in the third, and as Monte just mentioned, it is 43-6. That's right, 43-6 is the Yellow Jacket lead. It's been kind of a sluggish third quarter, but you could almost expect that. We want to thank Domino's Pizza for being the official provider of the Yellow Jacket broadcast crew pregame meal. And great job with Domino's Pizza. If you're, I tell you what, if you're listening right now and you're getting those little hunger pains, those little butterflies in the belly, I can assure you we've got a long way to go.
Yeah.
And you've got time to order and have delivered not just one, but probably 2 or 3 pizzas from Domino's.
You know, that's the greatest single thing about Domino's. Yeah, they have great pizza, but you don't even have to get off the couch.
I like the wings myself. I think I might have to call the missus and tell her to order of wings.
Well, we had some wings up here earlier.
Hey, try this on for size, Monte. 16 sacks, all of 2002 for the Yellow Jackets, and tonight with 4, and add that to the Yellow Jackets total on the season, which was 2. They're closing in on the halfway mark 3 games into the season. Robertson shedding tacklers. New running back, Scooter Means, check that, as he sidestepped a couple of would-be tacklers and rumbled his way to the 47-yard line, as I believe Mr. Severov has seen his final duty tonight.
No, he's still in the game. That's good enough for first down yardage for Means as he gets out to the 46-yard line. Robertson still in the game, and they are substituting a lot of receivers. Chad Roberts coming in, Micah Hudgens coming in, and now Mr. Price.
Well, his career best, we haven't really talked about that, but his career best is 253 yards, and he's 21 yards away from that. Actually, he's 19 away from that, and he's going to get a chance to do it now. He slipped, or he might have gotten a big pile, and he comes up gimpy. Uh-oh. Well, might be a good time to get him out of the ball game.
Well, as he runs back to the huddle, but another guy was gimpy. One of the linemen, Ryan Bergman, came up a little gimpy, but Brent Gallagher for the Rider Raiders is the guy who made the stop. He's, of course, the guy who scored the touchdown, the only touchdown for the Rider Raiders tonight, and he might have took one away from Robertson right there, as he had a clear seam and a lot of running room if it wasn't for Gallagher stopping him up the middle.
Well, it is a contact sport. He's back in the ball game, and it's going to be Means getting the carry. No, it is Means. And he got back to the line of scrimmage. Robertson laid somebody out, so he must not be smarting too bad. He is still walking with just a little bit of a limp. Let's check with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. Jason, what's the idea on the sidelines? I mean, last week they took him out so early in a 37-0 game, or actually a 30-0 game, kind of leaving him in here at 43-6.
Oh, Ryder scored 6 points.
I guess that's it. Offset eye look. Robertson tight behind Crawley. Crawley's going to throw, has a man, Price. It's caught, 40, lowers the shoulder, has the first down, and holds onto the football at the 41-yard line. Nice job for Chad Price. Of course, we've called the Price name before.
Yeah, we certainly have. Casey Price, as a matter of fact, is 9th all-time in yardage for the Denison Yellow Jackets. He has 1,304 yards passing is what he ended with 9 touchdowns. So Casey did a nice job back in 1999 while he was here. Of course, he had a lot of dump-offs to prime time while he was here.
Two tight set, receiver to the left, straight eye look. Robertson and Means behind Crawley on 1st and 10. This is Means, gets the handoff, and, well, he plows forward for a yard, then sidesteps a would-be tackler and stumbles for another 2 yards. Hines is coming into the ball game, so that may do it for Mr. C-Rob, too. And he's still a little gimpy coming off the field. I hope he's all right. May have just twisted his ankle up a little bit or got his toe stepped on.
Well, 351 yards is the most ever by a Denison Yellow Jacket, and that was Reggie Hunt versus Sweetwater back in 1995. He did it on 26 carries. Corey Robertson has nowhere near 26 carries.
Power eye, two tight set. Hines, he's got room to run up to the 30. Breaking tackles, 25. Still going 20 down to the 15. Shock's in the ball game. All's called it a night. And what a night it was. If he does not see any more offensive duty, and one would think he would not.
I believe he's going to end up with about 200, close to 50 yards. 238 actually on 12 carries.
12 carries. Yeah, just, workmanlike night.
So he had 9 carries that he didn't score on.
We're going to have to add up how many he's got on the season. I think he's over 650 now.
Well, that's 23 touchdowns for the career
of his brother. Right? No, for his career. That's
he
right.
Has 23 now.
I got you.
His brother had 63, so a long way to go.
Yeah, he does. This is going to be a handoff. Means runs straight ahead, then falls backwards as he's driven by a couple of defensive linemen and linebackers. This game was pretty frantic in the first half, but it's kind of settled into a ho-hum affair so far in the third quarter. Dennison down to the 16 of the Raiders, and it'll be 2nd down and 11 from there. 4:14 to go in the third quarter. Lynn Burkhead, Monte Walker, and the rest of the crew, Jason Smith and Kevin Farr with you. Power eye, two tight set. Crawley will turn, hands it off Hines. Runs ahead, breaks tackle, still going to the 10. Breaking another tackle, trying to race to the pylon, to the 5. Does he get in? Yes! Stick it in the end zone, put it on the scoreboard. Anthony Hines goes in from 16 yards out. That is his 3rd touchdown of the night. He's got one via the punt return. He's got one via the interception return. And he just put one on the board as a tailback.
Well, you're going to hit for the cycle. Maybe that's what Anthony Hines is trying to do tonight, scoring from each way you can do it, offensively, defensively, and special teams.
Got an injured player on the field for the Ryder Raiders. And Dennison at 49 points. And if Farley can maintain his accuracy, yet again, it will be 50 points. And we'll have to do some, well, no, we won't. I was going to 1928.
Back when they were the Golden Panthers.
Farley on for a PAT. Fink got the high snap down. Is Farley accurate? No! For the first time this year, Farley is no good in the PAT department. It was a high snap from Grimes. Fink did everything he could to get it down, but it's no good. And with 3:55 to go in the third, 49-6 is our score. We're back. Nathan Farley, for the first time this year, has missed a PAT, and he's going to bang the Cable One kickoff. It's going to be taken by Nieto at the 21-yard line, and he's going to go down around the 30, so he got about 10 yards on the return, and he'll be pile-driven backwards and out of bounds around the 28-yard line. Don't forget, Tuesday night, Cable One does the replay of tonight's broadcast, courtesy of KMKT 93.1 FM. And don't forget, after the conclusion of this game, probably sometime early tomorrow morning, Dave Hilton, he's going to get paid overtime tonight. He's doing the Red River High School scoreboard show, and, the Sherman Bearcats are just about done with their game.
Don't forget about our trivia. We'll be coming up with that here shortly. coming around the fourth quarter or so.
New faces in the ball game, including Desmond Baker. Corey Robertson back in defensive duty. And Zemansky back to pass. Pounded as he throws the ball. It's complete over the middle. The receiver got a lick laid on him.
Wow. Robertson is still playing defense, folks.
Boy, did he lay a lick on David Nelson.
Goodness.
And Benny Rhodes was all over Zemansky. There was a little bit of slobber knocking, as the coaches call it, going on there.
Let's also give some plugs for the Cotton Patch. They're going to be giving away our meals all season long for the trivia. And, I think we forgot to mention Bruce Ed Mason was the winner last week. And we want to be sure to mention Cotton Patch because they're going to be giving those away all year long.
Zemansky completes another pass out on the corner to Jared Mercandante as Josh Vaughn vainly gave chase to sack Zemansky. And, speaking of Bruce Ed Mason, Bruce has been in my Sunday school class the last couple of weeks. I guess he's a glutton for punishment. But I asked him last week, we were talking in the break, did he have a record book or, and he said no. He said, I've followed Yellow Jacket football a long time, and, I remember a lot of these things. So, Bruce, get your dialing fingers ready because you're going to have a chance to take your wife to the Cotton Patch yet again.
Let's call him Speed Dial Bruce.
Zemansky tries to set the screen up. Maybe a flag. They're not going to call interference. The Raiders want it as there was a little tangling up between Josh Ozuna and was that Richards or Hines out there? It may have been Hines. As Zemansky tried to set the screen up, let the lineman run hard, and, well, Ozuna was the intended receiver, and he was tangled up with Hines and never had a chance.
Ozuna really has had a bad night so far. I mean, it's nothing that he's really done, but he's been wide open on a play and would have assuredly scored, but the quarterback didn't see him, and he had another drop ball. He's just had a rough time out there tonight.
Gallagher in the ball game. Zemansky checks off, back to pass, pumps. Now he's going to come back right, throwing the home run ball down the field. It's picked off. Chad Roberts gets into the act as he dives and picks off the Zemansky pass. Roberts gets his first interception of the season. It is the third interception of the night for the Yellow Jackets, and can you believe this? The 7th interception of the season.
That is absolutely incredible as the Denison Yellow Jacket defense, as we said before the season that the defense could really be improved because most of them were coming back. A lot of these guys were coming back, but the guys that are making the plays, the Kyle Richards, the Bryce Woolards, the guys like that, you haven't really heard of a lot. And they're the guys that are really making the plays.
Yes, indeed. Lots of new faces into the ball game right now for the Yellow Jackets. A.J. Haith, the A.J. train, he's going to get the toss. He tries to imitate Corey Robertson, and if he could have gotten around that linebacker, he'd have done that. He had a little ways to scoot. A.J. Haith, the junior, we were talking about this. I know A.J. pretty well. Know his mom, Shelly, and his pop pretty well. And, we were talking about A.J. last week. You just got to go. It's pretty – what a bum deal to be a running back in the Corey Robertson era.
And it will be Robertson's backup next year as well.
Yes, he will be. But you know what? The way that Corey is piling it on, he may get a lot of playing time,
He may get a lot of second-half yardage, right?
That's right. This is going to be a handoff to the Yellow Jacket fullback, Scooter Means, and he is going to, on the counter play, get close to the 15, or check that, the 10-yard line.
Well, you got to love the way Scooter Means covers that ball up. As soon as he takes the handoff, he's got both arms wrapped around that football.
Kind of reminds me of another fullback who used to play in these parts. A guy named Daryl Johnston. Remember how he used to wrap and cover that football up? Scooter's not nearly as big as the Moose was, but maybe we could call him Little Moose or something. I don't know. Split backs in the backfield, one man wide to the right for Matt Fink, the new Yellow Jacket quarterback. This is going to be a toss to the tailback. Means it was Means in the halfback slot, and he's not going to get any yardage, and so it's going to be fourth down rather. He'll actually lose 3 yards, and it'll be 4th and 10. And for one of the few times tonight, Ryder is going to get great field position as they send James Davis back deep to return this Josh Vaughn punt with 1:22 and counting in the third quarter.
Well, if you think about it, really, Ryder's had pretty good field position the entire first half, or most of it anyway, because they had those great kick returns and punt returns early on in this football game, but they never could punch it in. They always get within, the Dennison 30 or so, but never could get past that.
Well, the Raiders have a lot of guys up front. Are they coming after Vaughn, or are they going to let Davis return it? They're coming after him, and he just got it out. It was partially blocked and it's going to go out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
Well, it's going to be within the 10-yard line, I believe, probably marking about the 8 or the 9. So
I don't know if it's the wet ball or not, but Jeremy Grimes, the usually inflappable deep snapper for the Yellow Jackets, has struggled on his last 2 deep snaps.
Well, I think part of that is about 11 guys running right down your throat on the line of scrimmage.
It is kind of hard to, to snap that thing back there. And Vaughn had to be cognizant of the back of the end zone, too.
Yeah. You don't have the full 13 yards that you would like from the center to the punter.
First and goal from the 8 after the partially blocked punt. Zemansky fakes it left, cuts it up the middle, and he's in the end zone. And the Raiders have something to cheer about with 54 seconds to go in the third quarter. Zemansky gets his first rushing touchdown of the season from 8 yards out, and I'm sure they'll go for 2 here, down 49-12. And the Raider marching band finally has something to be enthusiastic about. You got to I tell you what, you've got to give the Raider fans a lot of credit. They've brought a pretty good contingent 2 hours to the east, and they'll get to experience what we've experienced so many times over the years, that horrible after-game drive down 82. This is going to be Zemansky's second, or going for the 2-point conversion, and it's going to be incomplete, but flags before the play really got underway. David Nelson was the intended receiver, and we'll check the flag. Matter of fact, let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. I think he's gone to sleep. Jason, what's the indication?
I really don't know, guys. I missed it.
He did go to sleep.
Yeah.
51 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 49-12 at the moment. Dennison on top. And
you do that rather well.
As Jason just claims, false start.
Who is that referee that used to? Well, it wasn't false start. It was holding on Phil Posderick.
Oh.
All the time. You remember that against the Giants in particular?
Yes, I remember that.
He was one of the great referees in NFL history. Cannot remember his name. Calderon on for a very lengthy PAT. It's almost blocked, but he gets it through. But he pushed it again, sliced it wide right, and with 51 seconds to go, 49-12. Dennison still in the lead. We're back after this timeout. As Calderon gets ready for a Cable One kickoff, and he's going to drill this one. He's going to drive it back over the head of Corey Robertson into the end zone, and Robertson will retreat, takes the knee, and with 51 seconds to go, 49-12 our score. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Denison Yellow Jacket Football on the Next Media Radio Network. .51 seconds to go in the third. That's right, 51 seconds to go in the third quarter. 49-12. How about an American Bank of Texas drive recap?
I need to do 2 of them because I forgot to do the last one. Anthony Hines scored on a 16-yard touchdown on a 8-play, 65-yard drive. That brought our score 49-6. Moments ago, Szymanski took over a 3-yard touchdown, which brings our score now 49-12 for the American Bank scoring drive.
Matt Fink turns, tosses it to A.J. Haith, who heads left and then found some daylight back to the middle of the field. Nice run on first down. A.J. picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards, so we'll call it second and 4.5 to 5 yards to go. The clock winding at 33 seconds and counting in the third quarter. 49-12, the Yellow Jackets in a yawner. It was 43-6 at the half. What a first half the Yellow Jackets exploded with. Haith gets the toss, and he's met in the backfield, dropped for a loss, and it'll be third down and long. As the Raiders, still playing starters against the Yellow Jacket backups, got some great penetration. And Mr. Haith is wondering what the number of that train is.
Yeah, some of the younger guys are in the football game. Matt Jones still in the football game, though, the right tackle. Some of the offensive linemen still in the football game.
That is going to do it for the third quarter of play. We've expired 3 stanzas of tonight's football game. It is 49-12 heading to Jacket quarter, and I think the Jackets are going to do it. I think they're going to put number 3 in the book, number 201 for Bob Brown. We got 12 minutes of football left when we come back after this timeout. We're back for the final stanza of Jacket quarter. A.J. Haith on third down and long plows his way forward trying to get a first down. Going to be just short. But nice job. That was actually Scooter Means. Check that. who did a nifty job of running for 6 yards.
Let's do the trivia right quick. Remember, this is sponsored by Cotton Patch. Whoever wins this will be getting dinner for 2 at the Cotton Patch. Tell you what, we want to know the last time the Denison Yellow Jackets scored over 50, that's half 100, here at home at Munson Stadium. We want to know the year and who it was against. And again, the last time the Denison Yellow Jackets scored over 50 at Munson Stadium, the year and the opponent. Call 903-465-6200.
Josh Vaughn on to punt the football away, stands at the 11. Here comes pressure, gets it away, and it's a dandy. It's a high spiraling kick. It's going to bounce, take a jacket roll inside the 40, down inside the 30, and it'll go dead at the 27-yard line. Nice job by Josh Vaughn. Had the heat coming, and he got it away. 47-yard effort, one shy of his longest kick of the season, his longest punt of the season. Some scores to pass along to you. Terrell's come back somewhat, 31-17 in the fourth. Last update we had, Terrell losing to Greenville. Howe taking it on the chin, unfortunately, to the Van Alstyne Panthers in the Battle of South Grayson County.
You know, I didn't
20-0.
I didn't have that trophy made to stay in Van Alstyne. I had that trophy made for Howe High School for their trophy case, and it hasn't happened yet. So
well, it will. Zemansky is back to pass. And he has pressure coming from the backside. Throws. It's incomplete. Kyle Richards was all over the intended receiver, who was David Nelson. David Nelson of 6'6" stature against Kyle Richardson, who is not quite as big at 5'8".
If you remember Brian Pritchard from a couple of years ago, Bam Bam Pritchard, if you can picture him, you can picture Kyle Richards. About the same type of stature, even wearing the same number.
Yep, 43. Zemansky, 2nd and 10 from the 28. Calls for the ball. Back to pass. Throws near side. It's complete. Has a receiver. And Chad Roberts makes a good defensive play to keep Jared Mercandante for taking off to the races. Some other scores to pass along quickly. Bells, a final over Garland Christian, 47-0. Hey, here's an interesting score. Maybe Dennison can play with the Carroll Dragons next week. Southlake 30, Burleson 0. That's a final. And the last score we had late in the fourth, Poteet over Sherman, 13-10. Zemansky comes near side, has Mercandante.
Nice
and
play.
Chad Roberts has Mercandante. Nice play. He's going to get the first down, but Chad Roberts jammed him right after he caught the football.
Well, I thought he was going to be able to hold on and push him back before he got the first down, but there was a little bit of separation there from Mercandante, and I think he made the second effort and might have picked up the first down here. I think they're going to measure, though.
Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man, Mr. Jason Smith. Jason, last few seasons, the fourth quarter's not been jacket quarter. It has so far this year. Is there some pride on the line to keep them off the board?
Well, there's definitely pride on the line. You've got the 2s and 3s in the game who Coach Brown says as soon as they step on the field, they become ones. Ryder facing fourth down here.
And it's going to be Zemansky on the quarterback sneak on fourth down, less than 1, and he looks to have the first down. He needed to get.
It's going to be very, very close.
Needed to get to the 39. The official looks at the marker and says first down.
Yeah, he's going to do it now. We have a final now, I believe, in Mesquite. Sherman. I don't know if you want to call it an upset or not, but Sherman, I guess you would by the Dallas Morning News standards. Sherman upset by Mesquite Poteet, 13-10.
Zemansky on 1st and 10 from the 39, stands in the shotgun, flanked by Reese. Back to pass, gives it on the draw to Reese, comes up, and it's going to be who makes the tackle finally. Not quite sure who that was that had checked into the ball game.
Desmond Baker.
Desmond Baker, there you go.
I believe he was the guy that was hanging on by the feet.
And he was hanging on, no doubt. Mitchell Reese, pretty sturdy, 6 foot, 195 pounds, had the thighs moving. The Raiders still have all the number ones in with 9:19 to go in the game. They want to put some points on the board. Why not? They're trying to get ready for their own district play. Zemansky is going to be asleep, almost fumbles the ball.
The snap came back to him, hit him right in the chest. He wasn't even looking for it. It's one of those where I guess the center thought the snap was one certain deal, and the quarterback had no idea. So it hits him right in the chest. Looked like one of those old blooper films from the 1972 Miami Dolphins teams.
Well, as we mentioned, we do have a final. Sherman loses for the first time in the Drew Young era, 13-10, as Poteet comes back and scores 13 unanswered points. Greenville and Terrell, last score we had 31-17. the Lions over the Tigers at the Coliseum, I guess. Van Alstyne 20-0 over Howe. Last score we have. Come on, Bulldogs.
Ooh.
Bells 40. Hey, Randy Matthews doing a pretty good job down there at Van Alstyne.
Well, they are Class 3A now over our 2A Bulldogs, but that's okay. It's all right.
Southlake 30-0 over Burleson. Our score 49-12, 8:48 to go in the contest. Zemansky is going to give it on the draw to Reese. He's going to get about 5 yards before he found turf in his face mask. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man, Mr. Jason Smith. Jason, kind of a ho-hum affair right now. Boy, it was anything but that in the first.
That is for sure. And the Jackets sideline and the fans content to let Ryder run out the clock.
Boy, have we got a lot of highlights for you during our postgame show.
Zemansky tackled from behind. How about that? Getting into the ball game and wreaking some havoc. Josh Prado as he grabs Zemansky from behind, and he's going to be a yard shy of the first down. 4th and 1. Ryder got the first 4th down conversion of the season against the Yellow Jacket D just moments ago. Check that. That's not correct. I'm not even going to tell you how off I was. And he may not have gotten it. Zemansky was spun at the line of scrimmage, tried to surge forward to the left, and he may have been denied. Have to wait and see. Let's check down with our Bratcher Funeral Home sideline man. You're Johnny on the spot. Looks short to me. What do you think?
He's got it.
Oh, and I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure about that, big fella.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's very confident with his call.
I think he's looking at the dial.
This one is very, very, very close. But Jason Smith.
By the way, I also predicted the Mesquite upset too.
Yeah, it's a good thing I'm not a betting man.
Did you predict the Lions, Joey Harrington being as good as he is?
No, but I wish I would have.
It's a good thing I'm not a betting man. There'd be a Domino's pizza on this one right now.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Okay, and they're moving the sticks. They're pulling it tight, and it is short. Jason Smith is wrong.
They added 2 links in the chain.
Well, that was a good try. We've got 7:46 left to go in this football game. 49-12, Dennison on top at Munson Stadium.
Don't we have an optical, a doctor, an ophthalmologist on our
optometrist?
On our sponsor list somewhere. We need to get him there.
Yeah, we do.
Well, let's see. Can the Jackets get over the 50 mark for the first time this season? And perhaps not the last time. We'll see. Matt Fink, the new quarterback, he's going to hand it off Means. Means trying to shed a tackler, couldn't do it. Picked up a couple of rough and tumble yards.
I think what the main thing they're trying to do here is take that 7:35 on the clock down to 0.
Well, I think for the first time tonight, Jason Smith, there's a little moisture precipitating from the heavens.
Yeah, I believe Jason is talking down there with a couple of people on the first row. I think he may be talking to Doc a little bit. That's why he's.
I don't know. He may be talking to a girl in the front row. We have to
tell his girlfriend that.
Tell his woman about that. Scooter Means is going to tell the linebacker Nick Rogers hello as he gets about 5 yards on that second down carry. 6:57 to go, and if we seem like we're not very into this, well, this one was over, I guess, the first time Corey Robertson touched the football in the or about the second time he touched the football.
Well, as I was going to mention earlier, I know a lot of y'all stick around, listen to our post-game show, and we recap the game with all the highlights within the game, and we will do that, and we have several tonight.
Yes, we do. A.J. Haith on the toss. Right, cuts it inside. Going to be short of the first down marker. It's going to be 4th and about 3 from the 41-yard line. We'll see if Josh Vaughn punts the football away, and I think that is going to be exactly what the Yellow Jackets are going to do. Actually, Vaughn not into the ball game, so we may get some backup duty.
While we're at it, let's thank Jermaine Designs. This is the 5th year that we've been doing Yellow Jacket football for KMKT, and each year they have provided us with our uniforms, and they have our Jackets logo, the same as they have on their helmets. We have on our chest. We have, they do all of that embroidery work for us, so we want to thank those guys over at Jermaine Designs. Tell them hello.
Josh Vaughn in his size 16s, bang it. It is a high end-over-end kick. Reese is going to backpedal to the 5, trying to find daylight. Comes up the field, the far sideline, and runs out of turf around the 17-yard line, and that'll be where the Raiders start. 5:40 to go in the ball game. This one's been over for a long time. Dennison going to improve to 3-0 in the year, and I think you have to go all the way back to 1997, and you know what happened that year to find a 3-0 start for the Yellow Jackets.
You know, we're going to have, as soon as we have another timeout, we'll check back with the studio and find out who our winner is with the trivia, with the Cotton Patch trivia, and probably Nona Taylor or Bruce Ed Mason or Jim Taylor, one of those guys.
This is going to be a reverse of some sort. Flags everywhere. A new running back into the ball game. I'm not really sure what happened there.
Well,
The running back had already passed him, and he kind of reached forward and said, hey, you forgot something.
And Corey Robertson is still in the football game at the safety position and did come up at the end of that play and probably was the last one on it. It is going to be a personal foul face mask against Dennison. Not sure who that was going to be on.
Yep.
Now there's somebody, I believe it is Jesse Dixon, who's kind of holding his palms up towards the sky, wondering, hey, well, and then usually that's the guilty one, but you don't know.
Yeah, dead ball personal foul, the 15-yard variety. 5:33 to go in the game. It's all academic. Only question to be answered is whether Dennison gets over 50 and whether Ryder puts any more points on the board. Zemansky in the shotgun as the umbrellas continue to come out here at Munson Stadium. He's going to come near side, has a man over the middle, and it's going to be Chad Roberts saving perhaps a touchdown. The deep post pattern to guess who? David Nelson. He had him by a step, but Roberts recovered quickly to tackle him.
And it is going to be a first down on the Denison side of the field now to the 45-yard line.
Don't you think this is pretty good medicine, knowing who's coming next week, running a very similar offense?
It is very good. And, you know, we saw that three-man front from the defense earlier by the Yellow Jackets, but haven't seen it since really the first drive.
And if you'll notice, the new guys in the ball game defensively are on the line. The backers and the secondary guys are the ones that are still in, the starters. Here comes the Yellow Jacket defender giving chase to Zemansky. That's Josh Vaughn from his defensive end position.
I think
nearly got Zemansky.
Most of the regular starters on defense are still in. The only one that I really see, Josh Prado, is in on defense, and we don't see him a lot on defense. He's in for Vinny Rhodes. Other than he, I don't really see any other backups. So the first team unit's still on the football field.
Well, I think it's a good decision to give them some work, knowing what the Carroll Dragons are going to bring to the field next week down there at South Lake Carroll. It's a beautiful stadium. We hope you make the drive, but if you don't, tune in to 93.1 FM at 7 p.m. for the countdown to kickoff. This is Zemansky stepping up, avoids pressure, and is going to get near the 40-yard line before he's brought down by Corey Robertson.
Robertson still playing that safety position, was right there, fought through his blocker, actually sidestepped him.
He loves to hit people. Have you noticed that?
He does. Even when he carries the ball, he runs over people. The greatest thing I saw tonight from him was when he knocked down Nick Rogers right at about the 40-yard line, stiff-armed him, and took him to the ground.
Umbrellas out in full force as a light rain falls here at Munson Stadium. Zemansky on third down and long throws has his man Mercandante. It's a first down at the 30 as Anthony Hines in pass coverage pushed him out of bounds. 4:03 to go in the game, 49-12. Dennison going to go to 3-0 on the year. The Ryder Raiders, well, I'm not really sure what they're going to go to. They're going to either 1-2 or 1-1, depending on how you, or 0-2 rather, depending on how you view their first game with Sunset. Kind of mentioned that at the outset. It was not even 2 quarters in length. The draw or screen being set up, and the Jackets sniff it out. How about that?
Well, the Jackets were coming on a full force blitz. Desmond Parker, coming from the left side cornerback, was really making a blitz at Zemansky, and he had to really get it off sooner than he normally would have on one of those screen plays.
David Nelson is the guy that let the other defenders on his side, or other receivers, carried the defenders downfield, looped underneath, and made the inside play. This is Zemansky pump faking, now coming back right, throwing for the end zone. It's going to be knocked away. Good defensive play down deep by the Yellow Jackets, Desmond Baker.
So twice. That's 2 times in 2 games that he's made great, outstanding plays. Desmond Baker last week made, of course, the long interception back for a touchdown. And here he saves a big gainer by knocking the ball down about the 10, inside the 10-yard line.
Chance Huber wanted interference, but it was simply great position by Desmond Baker. 3rd down and 8 from the 27. Zemanski in the shotgun, flanked by Gallagher, the fullback. 4 wide out look. Zemanski back to pass. He's going to throw it over the middle. It's going to be caught, but what a massive thunderous collision. Corey Robertson put on James Davis. It will be 1st and goal, but believe me, folks, Davis paid with the cobwebs for that one.
Oh, my goodness. He may not come across the middle like that again. Robertson just laid the wood on him. Wow.
Kid is fun to watch. Zemanski in the shotgun, Gallagher to the left of him, 4 wide out, 2 to either side. On 1st and goal from the 7, 3:04 to go in the game. This is Zemanski throwing the soft fade into the end zone. The ball's knocked away. Ryder wants interference, but the official's right there and says nothing.
Well, that was a great play by Brad Aday back there going up with the receiver and just knocking the ball away.
And let's talk about what Brad Aday did. He was going up against David Nelson, who's 6'6", 190 pounds. And in case you've forgotten, Brad Aday's 5'8".
Well, we heard about Brad Aday's speed, but he must have a pretty nice vertical as well. Maybe he's a point guard going out for basketball or something.
Pass number 50 for Zemanski coming up. He throws to the end zone, and number 50's in the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Raiders with 2:53 to go in the ball game. As Chad Roberts was giving coverage on Huber, but Huber was a yard deep in the end zone when the ball got there, and that's pretty hard to defend. Let's check down with our Bratcher Fueler Home sideline, man. You know, Jason, one of the things you always worry about in games like this is injuries. Do we have any?
None to speak of. We had Marcus Davis with a stinger. He is already suited back up, trying to get back in the game, but it's not going to happen.
Zemanski, as the Raiders go for 2. Low snap. He's going to tuck it, run, gets to the end zone, and he's got the 2-point conversion. And Ryder, 49-20 is our score. That's pretty reminiscent of last year, if you'll remember. What was the score last year? 42-28 was the final in 2002. We're at 49-20 as the Raiders put a couple of touchdowns in the second half on the board. 2:53 to go. We're back after this timeout. But I asked if his 272 yards as the hands team scrambles for the football on the onside kick, and I think Ryder got it, and they did. They get the football at the 50-yard line, so this one's not – the excitement's not over yet, but –
let's go ahead and give you the trivia real quick right before we get to the Max Nocky story.
Let me guess. Nona Taylor.
Nope.
Jim.
Nope.
Bruce?
Bruce Edmaston is the winner. We asked what the last time the Denison Yellow Jackets scored over 50 here at Munson Stadium, and it was in 1997. And it was that 63-0 win over the Wichita Falls High, another WFISD school.
Congrats, Bruce. Hope to see you Sunday. 1st and 10 from the midfield stripe for Zemanski and company as they continue to live. He gets to keep piling the numbers up. Sends Nelson in motion, and Zemanski from the shotgun as the rain really begins to fall here. Trying to set the screen up to the near side, going to throw it downfield and out of bounds. And it's incomplete. Yeah, I asked the bonehead question of the night because I said, is Zemanski's 272 yards the record for an opposing quarterback against the Yellow Jackets? And then about the time Kevin let the first goofball go, I remembered I was actually there the night that Max Nocky threw for, 10,000 yards. I think it was 500, it was 600 and something yards against the Yellow Jackets in Marty Criswell's last year at the helm of the Yellow Jackets. Of course, Bob Brown came in the next year and paid the favor back, and then some. I don't think Bob ever lost to McKinney, did he? This is going to be a loose ball. The Yellow Jackets scramble for it, but the Raiders they beat them to the punch.
Well, getting back to Bruce Edmaston, we sure want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in and a lot of y'all for calling into the trivia. And we want to thank Cotton Patch for delivering those dinner for twos for our winner. And Bruce Ed Mason, buddy, I hope you like Cotton Patch because you sure do eat there a lot.
Yeah, maybe he'll take my wife and I out and we'll double date or something.
There you go.
Because you know what? We understand that he won the Sherman trivia question
My
tonight, too.
Goodness.
Man is a trivia machine. 3rd down and 12. Zemansky low snap, hauls it in. Lots of time, throws it over the middle. What a great grab. It's going to be could be a touchdown, and I'm thinking it will be, and it's going to be Hines that pushes out the receiver, James Davis. Made a nice, one of the prettiest grabs you're ever going to see with a minute 49 to go in the game is he came across the middle at the 45. The ball was behind him a considerable ways. He reached back at full speed, stopped the forward progress of the ball, and hauled it in somehow, and took off to the races down to the 12-yard line. So the final numbers are going to look a little bit deceiving as the Raiders begin to kind of pile it on a little bit, as Dennison's been playing mop-up duty since about 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. But give credit where credit's due. The Raiders have done this to a great degree against some of the Yellow Jacket starters. Zemansky from the 12 is going to throw it down the field, and it's going to be incomplete near the goal line. So 2nd and 10 coming up from the 12-yard line. Stops the clock with 1:42. I don't know that I've ever been to a football game in regulation that was this long. We got 1 minute and 42 seconds to go, and I can guarantee you that's going to take us past the 10:30 hour.
Yeah, well, most definitely take us past 10:30. I'm thinking, though, we were at a couple of games that we were getting out pretty late. Some of those high-flying, Carroll last year took a long time.
Yeah, it did, for the same reason. There were about 1,000 pass attempts that night. Zemansky from the shotgun, Reese flanking him. High snap, Zemansky back to pass. Time, throws to the end zone, incomplete.
And of course, back in 2001, when Rob Crawley and company were throwing the ball just about every down, and you played some of those teams like that.
Richardson Pierce comes to mind.
That was
Wiley
one of those games. Yeah.
Comes to mind.
Took about 6 hours to play.
Of course, Dennison was throwing it a lot that night themselves, and that's something they did not need to do tonight by any stretch. It was 43-6 at halftime. It's 49-20 now. You can figure that out. Called the Dogs off in the second half, and see if the Yellow Jacket D can hold Ryder out of the end zone. 3rd down from the 12-yard line. The Dennison 12. Zemansky barks out the signals. Back to pass, has plenty of time. Now here comes some pressure. He's going to throw it to the back of the end zone. Incomplete, and Anthony Hines was climbing the ladder looking for the pick.
Well, Hines can climb the ladder. He, of course, is a basketball star as well. He went up in the back of the end zone, tried to get the ball, but it was just overthrown. I wish that was it kind of looked like that Joe Montana to Dwight Clark throw.
It kind of did, didn't it?
But that one, I wish that Dwight Clark would have had that happen to him.
That broke my heart.
That's the first time I remember crying in front of the football.
I was with you that day, brother.
I was crying. I was probably 6 years old.
Timeout call by the Raiders. $1:26 left. 49-20 as Dennison preps to put number 3 in the books. We're back after this timeout. Ryder definitely got their money's worth tonight. This is their 81st snap of the football game offensively. Zemansky on 4th down and 10 from the 12-yard line. Back to pass. Pressure comes backside, throws it over the middle, has a man, and the Yellow Jackets are going to make it close. And I think he's going to be just shy, but it's going to be close. On the reception was James Davis.
Well, Bill Bates, a.k.a. Nathan Farley.
He comes out and says,
Yeah, he and the other headhunter over there, Kyle Richards, made sure that he went down before
they don't have
to the first down. I believe it's going to be short.
Well, let's give Bratcher Funeral Home man another try.
Let's give him another chance down there.
Oh,
yeah, it's short, guys.
They already signaled.
Yeah, you got off easy that time, big fella.
I tell you one thing that's interesting as we're down here on the field under a umbrella, but Channel 12 off to the south end of the stadium showing the Friday Night Blitz, already showing highlights of this game.
Wow.
that it's running late then.
10:32, and we still got 1:16 to go.
Well, we call into the scoreboard show with our score, and they're already done.
Well, it was 43-6 at half. I mean, Dennison was absolutely pummeling the Raiders. I mean, at that rate, it was going over 80 tonight, and as you might suspect, Robertson got a little duty in the second and got called off as a lot of new faces got in offensively for really the last two-thirds of the game. Flag on the play as Dennison tries to make it just a couple of more snaps. Not sure what that's going to be about. It's all academic. Dennison going to 3-0 for the first time since 1997. 49-20 is the score. And a missed PAT, the only one this year that Nathan Farley has missed, and it was due to a high snap, is all that kept Dennison from putting 50 on the board tonight.
Nice job by the Yellow Jackets, and a lot of you that were here are now at home